Fine, you can begin. Good to go. Yeah. Yes.
I measure the progress of a community by the level of progress the women of that community have achieved. Well, this famous quote by Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar seems so apt in this present situation. Hello everyone, myself RICHA. Today I am here standing in front of you all to give a presentation on Women's Reservation Bill. Recently, the Union Cabinet, the government of our country, led by our Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi, presented a 128th Amendment Bill, which is called Nari. Which is called Women's Reservation Bill or Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam 2023 in favor of the women of our country. It ensures maximum.
You don't have to maintain eye contact with me. That's your audience. I'm just an observer. I'm absent from the room. So you don't have to bother about looking at me. Yes.
Okay. It ensures maximum participation of women as our policy makers. So next slide.
Sure. Yeah. All right. Continue, ma'am.
The topics which are going to be covered in this presentation are what is Women's Reservation Bill, a general introduction, then its timeline, what was the reason for its failure, why it took so much time to come into to get passed, then what is the status of women's representation, and what is its present need. Next slide, sir. Well, the bill says it will ensure 33% of reservation to the women in our in Lok Sabha and all state legislative assemblies. It will give 1/3 of the reserved categories like SC and ST. It will give 1/3 place to its respective categories. The bill says it will exist for 15 years from the time of its commencement, and in future, if there is any amendment or any correction is needed, it will be done, and it will be done on the basis of rotation, which will be.
Okay. Continue.
Next slide.
I'm so sorry, ma'am. Just
As we
continue.
can see from the timeline that it took almost 27 years to pass the bill. It all started back in 1996 when the then Prime Minister Mr. H.D. Devgowda tried to bring that bill on the table. Although the next subsequent governments that came into power also tried to build from 1998 to 2003. The NDA government tried to bring that bill 4 times, but it did not succeed. Then back in 2009, the ruling party at that time had to face loud and huge protest. The protest was to that level that some people in the Lok Sabha even snatched the bill and tore it into pieces. Then you can see that finally in 2023, the bill has now been passed from the Lok Sabha as well as from the Rajya Sabha. Next slide, please. Now we will focus on the points why the government failed to bring it on the table. There are different mindset of the people that women are considered a bit inferior as compared to their male counterparts.
Yeah.
And some other reasons are like quota within quota factor, like if they are providing reservation to SC and ST, there is no provision for women and women belonging to Muslim community or for OBC. There is a huge patriarchal structure in our society which still exists, and it prevents the women participation, reservation policy is also rotation policy. It creates an impact on the male portion. Like there has to be some of the male MPs now have to be get out of that track so that we can allow more entry for the women's and there are some restriction of choice of voters also. Next slide, please. Now we can see that in the international rankings also, there is our country India ranks 144 out of the 123 countries which represent India in an international level. Even our neighboring countries like Bangladesh, Pakistan and Nepal, they are also leading they are also in leading terms when it comes to representation of women. We have a gender quota, and in like if we see the level of at panchayat level, although the participation women is nearly about 33.3%, but when we go up in the hierarchy, this participation is a bit low as compared to the basic level. So I think on implementation of this bill, more and more women will come on front to show some active participation. Next slide, please. As the data shows, India is showing only 15% of elected women when it comes to comparison with other countries like Sweden, Argentina, Norway, Canada, Pakistan, France, USA, United Kingdom and Sri Lanka. Now we will discuss what are the things which will be affected if more and more women will come on the front seat. Now, since being a woman, more of the grounded discussions, like more women-related issues will be considered and discussed in the parliament. We will be able to break those cultural barriers. We will be able to smash and get an answer to the patriarchal structure, and also it will make us able to fill the global level of gender gap also, and it will bring a sense of women empowerment, a sense of equality in terms of gender inequality issues.
Any questions from the audience? Anyone? Yes.
It was not so I want to ask questions.
Yes, maybe go ahead, ask the question. Perfect, that is the best reply. Very nice.
At least it's my she is the biggest competitor in recent time, right?
Yes.
He is doing yoga better than I see his communication is still more
Very nice.
So I don't want to.
Competition starts at home.
Yes,
Very
Yes,
nice.
competition, like you are doing better than me.
Nice, nice. Competing
I don't
partners.
want to get this. I want to be.
Yeah, you want to take revenge. Very nice. All right, let's Nidhi go ahead with your first question.
I do think the participation of women in Lok Sabha and state assemblies will make any difference on the policy level, that where there will be any difference in the mindset or the policy framework when a woman is making a policy compared to the man.
Honestly, in reference to that bill, since it is not, there is the timeline says that this bill will be going to active not before 2029.
Yes, minimum that is
Minimum of time will be taking up to 2029. But can you please?
Yes, I think I have.
The question is little bit.
Go ahead.
I think I made it little
Can you repeat your question? I was not paying attention.
Okay.
Yeah.
My question was, will be any difference in the policy making if a woman is making a policy compared to when a
All right,
policy is made by
yes.
a
So
man?
generally whatever policies governments make, like as of now or in the past they have been making. So if more and more women will be involved, will these tie or will there be some good or bad consequences in the way those policies are framed now that women will be involved in the policy making? Will it impact the whole process of policy making and its outcome?
I think it will be impacted in a much positive way because since women are coming as a front policy makers, these policies will be more inclined or oriented towards women welfare and benefit. The more real issues will be discussed and these factors will be considered when compared to those male policy makers.
Okay.
So, maybe in a much
A very general question. We know that India is one scenario or political scenario of India. Obviously, we know it's highly male dominated. Do you think the passing of this bill and this becoming a law now, more women will participate in politics? If yes, why? If not, why? Will it encourage women to opt politics as a career? That is the big
Yes,
question.
it will encourage women to come to the front.
Okay,
But since being a male-dominated society,
okay,
they will be acted like a puppet.
Correct.
This is going to be
Yes.
happen for sure because
right,
even if the participation of women in the basic level, like in the panchayat level,
yes,
we have seen the term like pradhanpati.
exactly,
This is they are acting like a puppet.
right,
If we cannot control this on the major level or the basic level, this is definitely going to happen at the bigger level.
at a bigger level.
I think more elite classes will
Okay.
prefer their
Spouses,
spouses, their daughter-in-laws,
very
their
nice.
their daughters to
Hmm.
come into the front
Hmm.
because of the same community. More member will be coming on on the dais.
Right.
So more like they will be acting more like a proxy to the
Hmm.
men in house.
Absolutely, very nice, very good. Any other question?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Sir, ma'am, you are a woman, and even after 75 years of independence, are you happy with the 33%?
Representation.
33% of representation.
Okay.
Why the government is not talking about 50% of reservation of the women? Because we are doing the same on the same front. If the male female to male ratio 900 to there is only 90% in respect to 100% of male. Then if we consider, then there should be a 45% of reservation for the female. But government is still giving a 33% of reservation to the female. So is it are you happy with this or with only 33% or still you want to get 45% or 50% of reservation?
And the condition shows that reservation remove the women from that word reservation.
Right.
If we consider only reservation,
Hmm.
this has been implemented since our independence, like since the last more than 70 years. Are we able to see any change? We remove the word women.
Okay.
Are we able to see any change in the whole reservation process? This doesn't seem like any smooth kind of change. But I would like to say that this is just a it will not act
Okay.
to that way. So
But then it will at least set some precedent for people or for especially the female
Yes.
class to
just
come forward.
to initiate. Maybe
Yes.
we will cover in future up
Right.
to 50%, but
Right.
it is just an initiation.
Yes, at least it is acting or it will act as a harbinger of change.
Yes.
It will initiate some change. Maybe the effects of those changes will be gradually, taking place gradually in the future. In the long term, there may be some impact, right? So this will act as the catalyst or the starting point of a big change.
To your question, my answer is like something is better than
Nothing.
nothing.
Right.
Like at least some part is initiated.
Right. Okay. Fine.
Any more
Very
questions?
nice. Any more questions? Excellent, ma'am. Very good. Very good.